So next up, this one's near and dear to my heart. What role do subcontractors and key suppliers play in the pre-construction process?
Well, I will tell you my experience has been that I found few subcontractors that really were much help to me during pre-construction. They could help me verify some things, but typically they wanted a set of plans and specs to price. They didn't have anybody in their office that did a lot of conceptual type of work. They could be a huge advantage to a general contractor if they did have those things, if they were able to provide conceptual estimating and help during this design process. But so often, especially this is why I told my estimators, don't go to subs for prices on a conceptual set of drawings, because it'll probably be either double what it's worth or half the value, and you've got to be able to estimate it yourself. Then where a sub can help a lot is to sit down with them and go through your analysis of how you put together the estimate and where you may have made mistakes material-wise or whatever. So there's a lot of value they can bring if you do the estimate yourself. If you're allowing them to do the estimates, you're making a huge mistake. I will tell you, I would love to have had an electrician, in fact, that was really good at this, and he got it. And he was able to help walk me through the conceptual phase of a project. And when I say conceptual, that sub needs to know what's going to be on the drawings at the end that aren't on the drawings at the beginning. He has to make assumptions of what's there. The language of the architect and the contractor is purely all about that. If you give an architect a budget of $10 million for the electrical work, and you don't detail it down in specifics, even at the early conceptual stage, you have no language to talk. You're not able to discuss why it costs so much or what's in it. And so the subcontractors can help, but most of them don't like this type of work, I have found. So any of the subs that are out there right now, if you could really develop strong conceptual estimating capability to support a general contractor, you'd really be in the driver's seat.
So turning this question around a little bit, this is in my wheelhouse as a subcontractor. First of all, I can write that resonates with me that we don't necessarily think about it, because a lot of times we're given a set of plans and we're simply expected to go bid it, then build it. And so that anticipation of what should be there and knowing the specific types of the facilities and design intent, those aren't things that come totally easily to a lot of subcontractors. So first and foremost, if you were a sub and putting yourself in those shoes, how would you go about starting to build your pre-construction team to start to develop those resources?
Well, finding that conceptual estimator in your sub-trade is critical, and that's going to be a hard one to do, but they're out there. You've got to develop an enormous historical cost database. That's critical. And it's also what the contractor is going to want to hear from the subcontractor. If a subcontractor comes in and says, here's my database of historical cost, I'm not going to give it to you, but I've got it, and this can help greatly in the early design phases of a project, that's what the contractor is looking for. There's a couple of other things he's looking for, and that is presentation skills. All of this pre-construction services, the way you win these awards and these projects are by presentations, and you've got to be able to make a presentation to an owner or a board, and if you're going to bring a sub on your team, you need to be able to have someone that can stand up toe-to-toe with you and have the same presentation skills that you have to be able to help you in the process. Then the contractor is going to open his arms for you because it's going to help him. And again, I'll say, find that conceptual estimator. They're out there. They exist. That's what you need more than anything else to build your team, is somebody that can give you a complete estimate on the electrical system of an office building that is drawn on a napkin. And it can't be a square foot cost. It's got to be an in detail cost.